Today we're exploring real numbers. We'll start exploring real numbers by being able to classify numbers into different sets. So natural numbers are the numbers beginning with 1, 2, 3 and going on to infinity. Whole numbers will begin with 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and they go on to infinity. Integers include all of the negatives, 0 and all of the positive numbers. Now, rational number is any number that you can write in the form of a over b, where b is not equal to 0. In other words, a rational number would be a number that you can write as a fraction. So, for example, if we have the number 4, we can write this as 4 over 1. And that proves to be a rational number. In decimal form, a rational number is either terminating, so that means the decimal stops, like 6.27, 3.8, 0.5. Any decimal that stops, it's terminating. Or it can be repeating, that means any decimal that just continues on and on and on forever with the same decimal. Like in this example, 8.222222, and it goes on forever. Okay. All integers would be rational numbers. So let's try a few examples. If we have to classify, let's say we're given negative 17 over 31. Would this be a natural number? No. Would this be a whole number? No. What about an integer?
Yes.
It would be an integer? But let's look at the integers again. An integer, does it include any fraction? No. Therefore, it is only a rational number. It's written in the form of a fraction. Let's say we have the number 23. Is 23 a natural number? Yes. Is 23 a whole number? Yes. Is 23 an integer? Is 23 a rational number?
Yes.
Yes. It is a rational number. It can be written in fraction form. What about as a decimal? Wouldn't it be 23.0? It's a terminating decimal. Let's try another one. Let's say we have the number 0. Would this be a natural number? No. Would this be a whole number?
Yes.
Yes. Would this be an integer?
Yes.
Yes. Would this be a rational number?
Yes.
Rational number. We can write it as 0 over 1 and as a decimal 0.0. What about if we have 4.581? Would this be a natural number?
No.
What about a whole number? What about an integer?
Yes.
No decimals in the integers. So would this be a rational number?
Yes.
Yes. Can we write it as a fraction or in fraction form? So what would we write? Over 1,000. An irrational number cannot be expressed in the form of a over b or in a fraction form. In the decimal form, it does not repeat and does not end. Can anybody think of a number that does not repeat and does not end? Pi. Pi would be 3.14 and it goes on and on forever, non-repeating and non-ending. Anybody else can think of another example? The square root of 7. The square root of a number that is not a perfect square. Now, thinking about square roots, would the square root of 16 be rational or irrational? Rational. Square root of 16 would fall up here because it equals 4, so it would be a rational number. So an irrational number cannot be expressed in fraction form, and the decimal form does not repeat and does not end. So together the irrational and rational numbers form all the real numbers.